The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The living room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is now 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the True Nation station, WACK 9.1 FM, where we are.
Culture crazy.
First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us. Mm-hmm. And we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because we all know, accept, reiterate, and say it will be just that Columbus lied. But also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for.
Post up, Aaron, post up.
Boy, if it's the same thing we're thinking about, yeah, we'll get back to that one. But before we go any further, I must remind you that if you don't know the two exhilarating voices that you're listening to, these two handsome faces that you are viewing, this is Aaron868. I remind you each and every time that culture is my code, and I sit here alongside my bro with no fro, always on the go and in the know.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social sage on the global stage.
Ricardo boy, we are just about 3 weeks away from the reigning of the Merry Monarch, as people like Kenny would say.
Right. Oh yeah, the Merry Monarch, yes, you no longer hear that?
Right. We are also, if you're in the younger age bracket, they're about 3 weeks away from hitting the road and having your behavior lower than the white line.
Yeah.
If you're somebody like me, on the other hand, you're 3 weeks away from it all being over and you getting back some time for yourself.
Yeah.
There are many different ways people view this festival that we are building up to. And there are also persons that will say, hey, we are 3 weeks away from 2 days off from work. 3 weeks away from church camp.
Right.
Or church retreat. There are many ways that persons are viewing this break or festival that we are building up to, and we should allow each person to be able to enjoy it or anticipate it in whichever way that they see fit.
Why, Aaron, it sounds to me like you're talking about something. It sounds like you're talking about something.
I was honestly in search of a pink jersey to wear today, but
you know, we should have wear pink in solidarity, you know.
Yeah, boy.
We should have wear pink in solidarity. It's too late? You have a pink jersey? A clean one?
No. But really and truly, the reason why I brought that up is not just because of the clip that went viral over the weekend.
Yeah.
But also from the aspect that I find that persons continue to give their mouths liberty, their fingers liberty, to cast judgment and aspersions on persons' personal finances, or even their personal choices of how they want to spend their weekends, or persons' choice as to how they are going to express happiness. We just give them remote liberty sometimes for things we're not supposed to give remote liberty for. But the things which we as a population supposed to speak up against, or speak up in defense of, or speak up in angst of, all of a sudden our voices begin to dwindle.
Yeah. You know what I like about you, Aaron?
What's that?
I like the position you've taken on this, because you're being very diplomatic. You're being very measured.
One of us has to be.
You admittedly, sir, you are reminding me to address this as professionally as possible, and I do acknowledge that because of the tone that you set, it will allow me as well to temper my delivery and get my points across, and we both won't be raving lunatics. Trinidad and Tobago, I am thoroughly, absolutely disgusted with you right now. Absolutely disgusted. We are going to celebrate Black History. We're going to celebrate Women's This. We're going to celebrate World Suicide That. We're going to talk about bullying. We're going to talk about all these things that the first KMA opportunity all you get. The first opportunity all you get. All you punching down on somebody. Now, bear with me, Aaron, bear with me. First and foremost, to that photographer, you, sir, prior to submitting that for publishing, you're supposed to take a little look at what it is you presented. Right? I understand you submit your thing and they probably select what is the wanted and you use from it. But posting that woman having the time of her life, you had to know full well. You had to know full well what else was in that frame. Who else was in that frame? I'm telling you, the reason I call this episode Post Up is because you knew it had on some level it had a watch you man in the pink. Yeah, put it. You had to have known that there would have been some traction.
The opportunity was there.
Right?
And now again, we're going back to last week's episode here, Ricardo, where maybe, just maybe, he submitted 18 different videos.
Fine. True.
And then the news house choose that
one. Yeah, but you didn't have to submit that. Anyway, you do anything and you just send the footage and pull it. I taken that and all. But the post-up still happened and it was intentional. Somebody saw that and say, hey, why should I get on so? And post it.
And you know what made it hit home a little bit more for me? Is one of the persons in that video is an avid WAC listener. He's messaged me ever so often. If he see me anywhere, he's hail him out and he's talked to me.
All right. Well, so you avid WAC listener.
Yeah, so to know that you know are accessory in that. Now, this also takes me back to the days. Remember you had homework, okay? And I hope you did your homework, Ricardo.
I have no recollection of what it was, but go ahead.
This is where we insert the clip from last week saying Ricardo was supposed to listen to carry it. Anyhow. Right? And it's so fitting that is the song that you are supposed to listen to, because fetes of old is instances where people go in a jeans or short pants or sneakers and a jersey and they go out to enjoy themselves, right? Now, as Bungie said in a couple songs, fetes have become a fashion parade. So am I not in a scenario like this going to say, if somebody constantly elbowing me while they're jumping, or somebody the hair is constantly swinging in the face while they're jumping, or even you have on a shoes and the shoes mean mine mash me, you know, but don't mash me with your Red Wings now.
Here what is going on, Aaron, you see that mash foot thing?
Yeah.
Because of what's going on with my finger, I understand. If this is what has happened when a woman foot get mashed and the toenail had to grow out and all them kind of things. So, I hear what? Right. I stand with pink.
So, I understand and even if you slow down the video and all of a sudden everybody's now a lip reading analyst.
Yeah, everybody is a video forensic specialist.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that new term that was coined. And maybe all the pink lady in pink was saying was, hey, you're here swinging and hit away now. Okay, we are ease up now. Because in effect, if all of us in a space and I jump in, you could just shift to the side to be able to see. But it have a difference in something that is inconveniencing you directly as a result of it.
I am one of those people that play into bad manners, Aaron. I would not have been in front, except for the fact that the people that I went with would have wanted to go. And I would have been the person who would have been upset because this is not what I signed up for when I came out. Now, people talking about sour vibes. Here, what is I telling earlier? Earlier on, garbage, hot garbage. Because you're talking about one person being allowed to enjoy themselves the way that they want, and then having an issue with somebody not choosing that. If I went in front and somebody violating what, listen, you telling me I'm not entitled to be comfortable because back in the day, guys, you cannot be complaining. You cannot be complaining about how the vibes change and hand cherry picking, hand selecting the elements of the thing that you want. So first and foremost, back in the day with the vibes that we're talking about, nobody was going to be decked off the way that you enjoying yourself, not supposed to be at the expense of anyone else's good time.
Or the detriment.
That is a basic human behavior. To not violate someone else's comfort or enjoyment for the sake of yours. And then on top of that, thousands of people find it appropriate to attack the woman's. She could have been, for the rest of the night, she could have been in whatever state of mind. You all selected that instance where she was the most annoyed to tag her with her behavior. Look at the way that she was dressed and her attitude and tag her with her title. And then everybody got on. And I saw that there were people who were like, hey, get together. Because she right. Not because you having a good time, me neither take this thing hitting me in my face. And why to be right. Keep and geek and ain't say nothing. No, that is trash. You enjoying yourself, not supposed to discomfort somebody else.
Because and that's why I started. Because you're supposed to be able to see somebody enjoying themselves. And I'm going to use myself as an example here. I was at that same concert. And for those that know me well, know I'm not a huge fan of large crowds. I could be in the event that has the large crowd, but that doesn't mean I want to be in the midst of the large crowd. And I ended up in the crowd for that performance because I get caught up in the hype. And there were some gentlemen behind my friends and I, where we were linemen. And it had times when there was getting a little too close to the females within our group. And one stern look at one of them meant that after that moment, the closeness became a bigger distance.
All right.
Now, what if at that moment, a TV camera catch me screwing my pan at a man? Because nobody know what happened in this moment, you know. All they going and see on the camera is me watching a man too.
Yeah, you watch you with your tongue behavior.
Exactly. So videos and photos are capture a moment in time, but without proper context, we will never understand them. Right?
Aaron.
Nobody know how.
She could have been so whole night if she want.
And that's the next thing. Nobody know. Because remember, this conversation that we having is just assumptions on what took place, or part or commenting on what took place. What if the lady in the pink about that for the entire night? But then helicopter here, see the cameras at that moment, and I was like, you know what? This is my moment of fame to become viral, because I want to be just like how Bridget was on Saturday night, and Marshall could have called me up too.
Although technically, if I'm not mistaken, Bridget get called up the Saturday night, and the incident was Friday night.
I know she was probably seen into the future like that.
Oh, she was all right, cool, right.
She had a premonition.
I get that. And even if we take in the instance out of context, is one thing. But you have a right, if you go on a party, right, and you're not enjoying yourself, you have a right to not enjoy yourself.
Man, I saw a video. Was it yesterday? Yeah, sometime yesterday, while scrolling Twitter, now known as X. And they were talking about when Kes is on stage, fellas, you need to have your girl close. Just make sure that she's behind you. And then they pan the crowd. And thank God the camera didn't pick me up. Because Kes was singing his liver strings out. And I am standing there like... And it is not because I wasn't enjoying Kes enough. I enjoy his music. But at that moment... the weekends of activities caught up to me.
Right.
So tiredness was there, but I'm enjoying Kes singing Miss How She Name. I was enjoying it. But again, not because my enthusiasm was not akin to those around me. If that camera had pan on me, I might have been Wednesday's meme.
Yeah, you'd have been February. And you know
what's the sad part? If you saw that card, you were submitting that video to make me February.
No, I would not do that. Yeah, I would have probably do it. I would have probably wild it. Jenny, what you're saying, right? People talking about, oh, you should stay in the back. Maybe she did not want to be in front.
Maybe she well, that's one. Or two.
Maybe she went in front and there were no vibes, and this young lady just decided to carry on the way that she did. But she has a right to do if she so chooses.
She could enjoy herself how she wants.
You're in a public space, right? There are certain things that admittedly you sign up for when you go to certain places.
Exactly.
Right?
Can't play mass and trade powder.
I know when I go to a fete, right? No.
When you used to.
I can't expect it to smell like my bathroom home. You're going to get nasty park disposal smell. Right?
Correct,
if I don't want that, I don't go.
Or you go in the higher, or you go to the higher paid costed portion of the fete, which will give you access to VIP toilet trailers.
Right? Why is it? At the end of the day, you can't play mass and free powder. Right?
Yeah, correct.
However, my issue is not that the woman, and I know who she is personally, this is not the reason for me saying that all on.
Which one you know personally?
Pink. Which one? Pink and her sister, right? And I'm saying that not because I know her personally, this is the issue that I'm having with it. We haven't spoken in 20-something years, right? It's not like we besties and I out here defending my folk. What I am saying is that I've been that person who've been around people who enjoyment was at the cost of mine, and I telling you, I did something about it. Right?
Yeah, I have. I could attest that I have spoken, and I've spoken up against it. But again, there are so many unknown variables as to why that video was the video chosen. But it still does not change the fact that the lady in pink was correct to state her discomfort. Or discomfort. Thank you very much, Ricardo. In this situation,
these are the same people. These are the same people out here who just be advocating for women's rights and how this and that and the other. I sure if it was a man who was jumping up and throwing the frame wild, and she said, "Hey, he's not being a tall man,"
it would have been a totally different conversation.
Totally different story. Yeah, this has me see thing, you know. But at the end of the day, that's why I don't deal up in this thing again. This is why it have a certain space that I just don't deal with again. And I personally find that the hypocrisy of so many people who jump in on themselves and running commentary on this thing. But listen, anyway, let me not put my mouth where I don't want to put my mouth. I just find that if I'm not enjoying myself in a space because of something somebody is doing, I damn well have a right to say, hey, give my ears up, please. Right? In terms of the whoever chose that clip and ran it, right? You got what you wanted. You got exactly what it is you wanted.
You got the clicks that you were searching for.
Exactly. You got exactly what it is you wanted. Right? My curiosity is, Aaron, when I spend my money and I go into a private event, right? Now, even though it might be a public space, if I spend money to access this event, right? Does that mean that every and anybody within this event has rights to my personage?
Funny enough, while doing some work for that event on Friday, I saw a sign from another event which was held at the same venue a week earlier. Mm-hmm. And it stated that by entering this premises, mm-hmm. you are giving the promoter the authorization to utilize your image for promotional use. So
there's legal precedent for you buy a ticket and it come in as a term and condition of the event.
Yeah.
Of the transaction. Okay.
No, that was for that event, huh?
Mm-hmm. But the sign was still there.
Yeah, the sign was still there, but it was not at the entrance for this current event.
But the sign, I thought you said the sign was there. The sign was there for another event, but
yeah, it was there. It was there from the previous event, the Friday before.
So the word you're looking for, it was still there.
It was still there.
Okay.
But as I say, I don't know if that sign was moved and put to the entrance for the event last Friday.
Right. So it might not have been a case that this was a condition that was expressed to you prior to entry. This might be something where after you're done in it, they could say, oh, look at that sign there. You know, I am displeased. I'm very, very displeased with us as a people. Because you know what? This thing has garnered, we little bacchanal and we little rabs and thing, I get that. But we are ganging up on people. And then when our kids see this horse manure and ganging up on people in school, we want to find out what the teacher and them going to do and what miss and them going to do.
But we as the adults were doing it.
Out here ganging up on people, cyberbullying people. And then we want to know what the ministry gonna do about it. Aaron, I have not been this mad about something in a very long time, you know. I'm exercising considerable restraint.
Thank you very much.
Considerable restraint right now.
Thank you.
Listen.
But on the other end of the spectrum, there was another incident at an event this weekend where someone was held by the police during the event.
I hear about that, but I haven't been privy to any specifics.
Well, no specifics have been released. However, it was stated that there's a warrant out for that person.
All right, so somebody who had an outstanding warrant get arrested in a party.
Right? And the social media is an uproar about it, saying how the police could have handled it differently and all these different things. But if they have a warrant out for your arrest and they see you, what they're supposed to do?
No, admittedly, having a warrant for your arrest should be something that is, I want to say, all right, let me put it this way. What should the police have done? Should they have asked him to meet them after the event at the vehicle?
That's what I'm saying now.
Should they have
what should have been handled? What could I do differently? Because in this scenario,
it was a firearms charge. It was a drugs charge.
It is rumored that it is maintenance.
Right. So we could presume that is a maintenance charge. So is a non-violent
offense.
Whatever. Oh, is offense. Thank you very much for that. Is a non-violent offense. Is this the type of thing where you could notify the person that, sir, we have an outstanding warrant for your arrest because of so and so, and we are advising you. We are advising you that
let's take our walk outside.
We have the right to arrest you on site. However, right? If you could if you could confirm that you will make yourself present at so and so date and time for this and that and the other, what you're telling me is we actually taking up jail space and police time for a man who could literally walk in the station and make a payment.
Well, in the court.
In the court and make a payment. What I'm saying is this is something that could be handled administratively.
Right. When I heard about it, there were so many questions that I had. But I tried my best to refrain from them until something proper comes out about it. Because I have so many questions, not just about the arrest instance of it, but also about maintenance as a whole.
No, I like some of them fellas really need a wake-up call. Huh?
Yeah, I agree with that. But then also on the flip side, some women need a wake-up call.
What I've also seen too, and the reason I want to gain too much on that aspect of it, what I say, why I'm saying, is if it could have been handled administratively.
Yeah,
so
something could have been handled better.
Notice that this and that and the other, it is a non-violent offense. Present yourself at so and so date or upon site. We will then, right? Or if at that point you fail to do so, you will be physically arrested.
Or when the event is done, the next station is Woodbrook. Please present yourself at Woodbrook Police Station.
Me even asking you to do that after the event, you know what I'm saying is if this is something where Aaron man is behind an woman cash in hand instead of running it through the court for convenience and then again
that was actually a huge part of the conversation today, and that's why I say this whole maintenance thing is something that we probably need to get a lawyer, something to have this kind of conversation.
Because somebody from the family court or something.
Neither of both of the gentlemen that sit here before you today have ever been in that scenario.
Bailiff come looking for me once in my life.
Yeah.
Once. And I swear it was never happening again.
Exactly.
You understand?
Anyway.
Fire on the bank. But what I'm saying?
Yeah, say. But so are we probably
the
same? Anyway, right. But really and truly, guys, a lot is before us in the social media space and this carnival space. And that was some of the negatives within the space. We also crowned one of the first champions over this weekend, Miss Joanne. Oh gosh, I forgot her name. She won the Calypso Queens competition.
Wait, Calypso Queen is a standalone event?
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess as the Calypso Queen, she would perform in the Mashkara.
No.
Talk to me.
She in semis, I feel.
Help me out here.
We'll talk. I'll confirm that for next week for you.
Right? All right.
Right.
This how we does learn. We get confronted with information and we learn and we process.
Yeah. We also had the inaugural Old Mass competition on Saturday night at the Queen's Park Savannah. Old Mass nice enough.
I don't have much regrets when it comes to carnival.
One is not playing Old Mass.
I would have loved to do that Gorilla Mass that one time. Just that one time. I'll admit that.
Nothing.
Where's I would not need a mask?
You hear me say that? You hear me say that?
Yeah, I was reading your lips, Aaron. I was reading your lips. That's what it looked like you say.
Anywho. I actually want to do Fancy Sailor at least once in my life.
You had a finish. I admit you had a finish.
Right.
I can see with the key in it.
Yeah, big up Alvin Maynard and friends.
Hey, your rival band does do that too. I went up Hellyard with Jay last year to record our episode.
For me to do that, I had to take a carnival off.
Well, Sassas do what is call it?
Sailor Mass on a Tuesday, carnival Tuesday.
Have a word for it, but anyway. But I remember tell you.
I'm sure Ingrid probably put it in the comments already as we talking about All Stars.
That kind of sure leave something now.
Right. The reason, as we even in studio today, not even installation, as we airing this today, I am actually trying to organize my frills because I'm doing my annual pan curl tonight.
Hey, nice, man.
Prelims is in the South Central Zone tonight from 7 p.m. So, yeah, I'm heading out to take in some pan and introduce some friends who never listened to pan to carry them on a pan yard for the first time in their life.
Oh, that is such a beautiful experience. I can't imagine what it would be like for them to actually be in that space where
man call it a pan tent, you know. Yeah, but what pan tents we going? I was like, excuse? I was like, we're going a pan yard, but I could also carry it to a calypso tent if you would like.
Wow. Yeah, going into that space, when the music surrounds you, is different to when you hear it.
When you watch it online and stuff like that.
That is such the resonance of the drums around you, the energy of the people when they're running through the half speed and then the full speed, and it is a beautiful thing. We have so many beautiful elements to this place, and then all of us had to go on 60 thing with all your fight down behavior. I'm still mad, you know, Aaron. I'm still mad, but anyway, I can move on.
Right.
So yes, share some positive. So bring some positive vibes, Aaron. Bring some positive vibes.
All right. So that's pan. But also, if you want the most positive vibes and great news, this Sunday, the coverage of Panorama Semis, the BPTT Savannah Party, medium and large bands is now going to be free to air.
Where?
On WAC.tv and WAC on YouTube. And all this is because of the gracious sponsor and other corporate sponsors who are willing and able and have chosen to work with WAC and Pantry Bagel to bring you this coverage for free.
That is amazing. Congratulations to the team. I could only imagine what went into facilitating this, into making it happen.
I was going to make a real out of time.
Speaking out of time in comments, how you, with your big 60-year-old self, right? Instead of jumping out on the platform and say, hey, Olia, ease up my Patreon now, right? Because she spent her money to come and see me perform and have a good time. And if she wasn't having a good time, that is all right too. We could work harder on it next time. You could jump out and talk about the woman Tanty vibes too. Hey! Use Jared.
Yeah, I saw that.
Jared. And then people talking about how you're maturing and you're growing up and you have such a more what? Well,
Cardo. There were some instances I saw over the past couple of days where old version of that person might have jumped out himself and right, there were occasions when I saw that, and I was like, hey, all right. But then they asked, everybody's a work in progress.
I hear that, I hear that, but out of everything, you could have jumped on the people on them social media and say, instead of, hey, yo, let ease she up, that is one of my fans, that is one of my patrons. Right? Yeah. You punch down? No.
I'm happy that came up, and I think it gives an opportunity for us to talk about something which, personally, I wanted to discuss inside this week's episode. And as Cardo say, post him or post it.
Post up.
Post up, right? As friends, we don't need to post up, but we need to pull, as men, we don't need to post up, we need to pull up our brethren socks. Right? Far too many friends are allowed to stray by the wayside because of the mantra, die how he is, or dies what he does do, or die what he know. Just as the individual we spoke about just now was able to learn to control his temper or control the way that he expresses it, you also have to teach your brethren or your partner or your brother or your friend to be able to control the urges that they may have to carry them into moments to earn. We cannot be preaching to be our sister's keeper. We cannot be preaching to diminish or decline or reduce gender-based violence. But still, when you see a brethren on stupidness, you're not going and say, brother man, what is 36 you doing there, boy?
Mm. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here. Yeah. Oh, we see and we don't judge. I will admit that those who are without sin should cast the first stone. But also, even if you are with sin, you could help somebody avoid it. And
very mature of you. Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say this. This Friday, we are going to be celebrating Valentine's Day. And the average male who in a relationship might take this opportunity to post up a girl. But you're not treating your lady with respect. You're not treating your lady with love. You're not treating your lady with care. And if we as men are supposed to be the protectors and the providers in society, we have to do better the way we treat the woman in our lives. Now, admittedly, me coming here to talk about something like this, it ain't easy for me to say. But it's because I cultivated a village around me of persons that I wanted as examples of relationships that I found as examples, good, healthy relationships that I wanted to mirror as I became older. And I say that, and I come with the flip side of it now. You cannot want to develop a healthy marriage and all you have is single friends.
Hey. Say it again.
You cannot want to have a healthy marriage or relationship and all you accompany yourself with is single friends.
All right. Just making sure that the people who wasn't listening hear it now. Mm-hmm.
Well, again, I'm not saying this from a place that I'm trying to cast judgment on anybody. But if you want to move into a space in life where things are better, you surround yourself with people who are exemplars in that area.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to become more financially stable, you think you're going and continue to lie with people who squander money?
All right.
If you want to move to a new field, a new profession, you think you're going and start to stick around the people that was doing the same thing that you was doing before? No, you will get to know people in that new profession so that they could be your mentors. You can't tell me you want a healthy marriage and you're still liming every single day of the week with your single friends. If something go wrong in your marriage, obviously you're not supposed to take it to your friends. You're supposed to take it to your wife and to God in prayer.
The counsel of many is not something to despise. Right?
No,
but you had to measure. You don't carry everything to everybody.
Right.
But I'm not saying don't carry anything anywhere.
But right, so I was going to tweak that a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You God and your spouse is the first two who you're supposed to go to with the problems.
Mm-hmm.
If it can't be handled there, you go to a professional or somebody who's a mentor. You can't go by the man that you see by the bar every day, sit down with the bottle, and I go and mimic it. He sit down with the bottle, so.
Oh, that way you have
It's a prop. It's a prop, honestly. Yeah. Right? So, you sit down with a man there and he can tell you, boy, well, here was this scene, huh? As a man was married at 20 years ago, you know. Me and my wife had fallout. And I say, you know what, boy? Peace over problems. And I choose my peace. That's why I'm here today.
Yeah. Chasing the same line you're chasing 20 years now.
Exactly. Right. And the key part about it is, I know you want to chime in here, Ricardo, but this is the last piece I go on saying this. If you want to be able to have a successful marriage, the leave and cleave principle becomes very important. You need to be able to leave the friends behind which are not adding value and cleave to your wife or your husband if he's God, we have female listeners too. But speaking specifically to the men here today.
Yeah.
Cleave to your wife. Oh gosh, man. The divorce rate is so high and we actively not doing things to fix it or change it. And for me, I always say personal responsibility should be everybody's veto or motto or modus operandi. You need to hold yourself accountable. If your wife is complaining to you, I find you're not present in the marriage, you're not present in the family. You need to look at it and see where you are present and you need to change it. If you're working all the time, you may think that, okay, you are handling the second part of it and you are providing for your family. But you also have to be present. And I know there's a tricky balance because in today's world, the cost of living is so high. It's real tricky not to put in that extra work sometimes, huh?
Well, extra work is the key to this thing here. And I'm not saying that in terms of secondary source of income. First and foremost, I want to address the proverb says that where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Right? It's biblically sound to get advice from your peers. The question is who you're getting this advice from.
Correct, right?
Secondly, Aaron, let's be real. Let me be real for 5 years. We asking people to put out something that they don't have in them. A lot of the times, people motivated not by the successes in their life, but in the places that they have either failed or been failed. So somebody who is adamant about being such a provider that he is not at home with the family probably comes from a home where he was without. And he's determined to not put his family through that. Right? So we could be looking at somebody who expressing what could be a healthy motivation unhealthily.
Correct.
Right? We also have to look at the consequence of that. Now, if you making sure that I catch my 36 and my children are going to catch a 36, then maybe working the way that you're working, have you in environments that you shouldn't be in, and you need to de-stress more than you might otherwise. So you now feel like you deserve to take the line. You need the sweat. You have to, right? You now create the conditions that you require escapism from, right? And because you're working so hard, you deserve, because now the ego come into play, you deserve to take a 2 beers, which could become 20. You deserve to take a sweat, which becomes 3 for the week. You deserve to hit a party and go everywhere I go, the madam go stick up on me, so I can't go somewhere with the fellas, they don't trust me over. Because now you're starting to defend your indulgence, right? The person at home now is stressing you because you're doing things that stress in the relationship. And more than ever, you don't want to go home, so you lean more heavily into those things. What I'm saying is a lot of this comes from places of hurt and trauma and failure and inadequacy, right? But you have to ask yourself, are you building something with someone? And if you're building something with somebody, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work.
This and it's the same level of work that you're putting into to fix that inadequacy that you may be trying to cover up on by working the extra, right? So if you're putting in 60 hours of work a week, why can't put in the same 60 hours worth in your relationship?
Maybe the relationship don't even need 60. Put in 58 and 2. What I'm saying is you're not allowed to neglect one area because of how hard you're working in our next one. That is not maths. That is not maths, right? You can't tell me you driving a car, Aaron. This car have 4 tires and a spare, right? You blow a tire, you change it out, and for the rest of that vehicle's life, you just keep changing the front right tire. Oh God, look how much I change in this front right tire. Why the car driving so?
But you're never addressing the issue.
You're not addressing the other tires. It don't matter how much you put into that one tire. So we as men, need to check with brethren and sometimes, no, I'm not going for that beer with you. Because I have nobody to go home to, but I'm taking you away from your wife and your family to rock out 2 extra beers because I want to drink by myself. Or worse yet too, I going home and sleeping it off, but you going home tight and I don't know what you had to deal with when you reach home or what she had to deal with when you reach home. And it's not only men that go home inebriated and giving the spouse and partner trouble. Right? Because everybody know it has some women out here that when they take the 2 sip of the gas will let us be a different person. So I'm not...
so we talk about that. We talk about that after.
So what I am saying is you're not allowed to only put work in one space and figure, well, because of that, you don't have to put in work in the others.
You have to put in work everywhere.
You have to change all them tires. You understand? You don't get to, let me put it this way, for the year, Aaron, if you put in treatment in the fuel, you don't put all in January and expect it to run for the rest of the year.
Correct.
Wait, look how much treatment I put in this thing. Why the fuel burning so? Somebody will continuous.
I'm not going to say that, huh? One of the things that I've learned over the years is that the work on a successful relationship, the work at being successful at your job, the work at remaining healthy, it's continuous work. It's not an overnight fix. Right? There will be days when you will feel like, boy, I really want to stay in this. But you know what? To have a successful relationship, to be successful at your job, to remain healthy, you need to wake up every single day. Thank God that you are able to be in this situation and ask God for the continued strength to do it. And then say, you know what? I am going to do it. Because it's a choice that you need to reaffirm every single day. To quote the minister, you know the meme from the minister held back then? Every single day. I don't know if you remember that one, Carlo. It was during COVID, just after he probably talked about he wept.
I remember.
Right? But it's every single day you need to make sure and wake up and make a conscious decision. You think, and I always use myself as the example, because I don't like to talk about what I learn or what people tell me. You think it is hard weekends when I just want to be like, boy, I could just relax this weekend and I could stay home and watch football whole day and play a game and go and check my mother and take a drink with my father, whatever the case is.
Drop a roti for Cardo or something.
Drop a roti for Cardo. I don't know how that come in the equation, but we'll just include it.
That sounds like a way to have a good time.
Okay, cool. No problem. Thank you very much, Cardo.
That should be on your self-care regimen.
Dropping a roti for Cardo.
Yeah. It's so, feel good to do good.
Actually, it does.
That was drop a roti for Cardo.
No problem. What?
I say improve it. Drop a roti for Cardo.
I thought you say every day, you know.
Whoa. Maybe if our roti shop was sponsoring the program, we would have gone down that road.
Something. But right, so what I'm trying to say, guys, is you need to wake up every day and make that choice. Just like how I say, I might be tired on a weekend and I don't want to do it and whatever. If I am trying to say I'm a lover of the culture, I have to wake up and make that decision every single day. Even the days when you don't feel like, but I really go in and listen to Pan whole day. You're doing it because you love it.
Even when it's hard.
On Sunday, for the Greater Savannah party, I always say Panorama Semis is a marathon and not a sprint.
You've been telling them that.
Sunday, you're going to get 12 plus hours of Pan coverage on WAC.
Lord.
Donations are welcome. I'm just finding ways to ease these things in so that people would remember.
I had to make sure my phone's charged, my laptop charged.
Exactly.
My headset.
And if you listen to me and Cardo, or you know me personally, and I hear you watch any other coverage, we go fall out. Speaking of fallout,
Mr. Williams, did you by chance see that there was and I don't generally I don't really watch these videos and propagate this thing, but there was a bit of a spat, some fisticuffs between two gentlemen at internet and telecommunications provider. No. At a digital service provider.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Listen, guys. I don't normally wrap up the thing. Right?
You don't really the thing.
Yeah, big up Willie, right? I'm trying to get Richard to start back doing these segments. Big up Willie with a Y. The number one rule of social media is don't talk sense on the people on the internet.
He buffed me with that today, you know.
Right? But ladies and gentlemen, here's what's happening. There are times to just walk away.
Correct.
There are times that one should just walk away. I'm going to quote a line from just immediately prior to the fisticuffs era.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You really want to go down this road, boy? Ladies and gentlemen.
Boys and girls. Feathers and masqueraders.
Scallywags and otherwise nondescript. If in a confrontation you are presented with the opportunity to not go down that road, don't go down that road. Right? The gentleman very deliberately asked, you sure you want to go down that road?
And that's the words of somebody that knowing if you go down that road, it have no coming back.
That sounds like somebody who knows the road. Is this not, you know who I is, and what is your real scene horse? This is, you sure you want to go down that road? Well, let's put it this way. The road went down.
And it didn't go well.
I'm pretty certain the gentleman, and I can't even call him a gentleman because he's swing first, but I'm pretty certain that the character wishes he had not gone down that road. Ladies and gentlemen.
He didn't went.
Listeners of WAC, those who would catch the episode afterwards on Aaron868, you're changing your YouTube handle too?
I don't know if I could, but I'll try.
Yeah, you can change it. Jail changes to Chit Chat with 2 T's the other day. Shameless plug. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are presented with the opportunity to avoid a confrontation, avoid the confrontation.
Yeah, boy.
Right? Because even if you win, it might be an expensive win. By the way, Youth Man didn't win. He was ably rescued by the security guards at the location. But ladies and gentlemen, when somebody asks if you sure you want to go down that road, take a breath and ask yourself if you really want to go down that road before you get post up. You understand?
Yeah.
Right? Fellas, you're in a relationship, presumably not to get something, but to build something.
Correct is right.
You understand? It's going to require that you point it. When you build without foundation, building don't last. Hey, life skills for couples. That's that good book they were here, boy. Let me see what good books I have here. What's this? This is a good book here. Rick Warren, Purpose-Driven Life. You understand? Only get some good material in your space so that
and you know it's funny
things now.
And even from bad situations, sometimes you gain good things.
Yeah.
Right? As a man bounced around before, right? But from one of the worst situations that I got myself in, it taught me what I didn't want and what I wanted.
You're in a real books, huh? Yeah.
Well, they have a whole bookshelf, you know.
Yeah, listen.
Right? So, even fellas, if you make some mistakes, you could learn from your mistakes.
It's only a L if you learn nothing.
Exactly. Right? Now, we getting close to 7 p.m., perilously close to the hour 7 p.m., and I need to go and pack my cooler with some bottled water to go and take in the pan curl.
That's right.
Right? But as we end this week, we remind you We coverage free on Sunday, so make sure and tune in. We remind you that you need to make conscious decisions each and every day if you want things to be better. Right? We also remind you, as the media, be a little more careful in where you record it and where
responsible, man.
Right? But you know what we reminded you the most inside this episode of The Living Room? Ricardo had an entire program on it last year. We need to be our brother's keeper. Right? We need to be our brother's keeper.
Can I add you to that group here? I'm gonna add you.
After Carnival, please.
No, I'm gonna add you.
Too much groups now that going.
We do message plenty. I'm gonna add you.
Okay.
You never know. You might stumble across exactly where you need on the day that you get it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
We would not abuse the space here.
Okay, cool. Right. Guys, also, we remind you that if you are working this season, please take your multivitamins or take your vitamins. Try and get some rest when you're not working. And also, even if you are working and again the rest, make sure and find that balance. As much as I hate this song by Marshall Montano, life is about balance. Right? Not the kind of balance he's talking about in that song. But life is about balance. Yes, Carlo.
This is yours truly, Ricardo Mitchell, the social sage on the global stage. Thank you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, our glass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. And I was calling myself the social sage because I do a little bit of reading, right? Rick Warren, Purpose-Driven Life. Yeah, there's a book that I'm going to push this week. I think every week going forward, I'm going to push I'm going to give all a little reading recommendation. It's going to be up to us to take it or not, but that's what it is this week, Purpose-Driven Life. Take a read if you're looking for a little expansion of the mindset. But Mr. Williams?
Yeah, this is yours truly, Aaron868. I remind you each and every time that culture is my code. And I also tell you that love is the currency. So spend some today. Let somebody know you love them. And you know how you can let them know you love them? By being intentional with the things you do with and for them.
Boom.
Right? Mr. Desmond is up next with Kaiso. Yeah, boy. 3 weeks, Carlo. 3 more weeks. Right?
Yeah.
Keep it locked to the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM. We are the home of culture and coverage this season. Keep it locked.
Stems. Yes, I can hear them saying, boy, stop living in the past. Where can I find that energy, the raw magic that comes down from the grassroots? Yes, I'm from a place where soca the resounding power. You could feel anytime, any hour, sunshine or shower. You will feel it anywhere you look, and it read like a story, man. I come from when ground used to carry it. Where used to carry it when the ground used to carry it.